You've always tried to be a good parent. You've been there for your child their whole life, even when it wasn't easy, even when you were worried or frustrated or scared. But this, your child coming out as trans or non-binary, this isn't like anything you've had to navigate before. You don't have a roadmap. You don't have role models. No one in your circle understands. And you have no idea what you're doing, and yet you feel like you're already doing it wrong. You might be scared that you're losing your connection with them, or scared of how the rest of the world is going to treat them. You may be feeling sad over the child you think you're losing. And for many of you, there's probably a new language to learn, and it feels like it changes all the time. If any of this sounds like I'm talking about you, you're in exactly the right place. Over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you why this feels so hard, even though you love your child deeply. What's happening emotionally underneath the surface for both of you. Some of the inner shifts that parents need to make so that they can move from fear and panic to calm and connection. The exact framework I use when coaching parents of trans kids who are just like you. And at the end, I'm going to make a simple invitation that if you'd like to know more about what it would be like to work with me and to have some support with all this, we can connect. No pressure, just an invitation. Before I dive in, I want to clarify two things. When I refer to trans kids, I am talking about your child of any age, and that the child might be trans feminine, trans masculine, non-binary, or genderqueer. My name is Ingrid Smith. I'm a certified parent coach, an educator for over 30 years, and most importantly, I'm the mother of a trans daughter. When my daughter came out, it wasn't a complete surprise, but it still shook me. I felt fear for her safety, confusion about what this was going to mean for her future, and a lot of guilt. Guilt that she had carried this alone and that I hadn't seen it sooner. I also had this deep worry that she might eventually pull away from me, that my missing this essential part of who she is would be the cause of a rift between us. And the truth was, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I learned. I reached out. I joined parent groups. I read everything I could. I talked to trans adults. I talked to other parents. And slowly, the fear turned into clarity. The confusion became confidence. And the relationship my daughter and I built turned out to be stronger than ever. It took time and a lot of work cobbling together what I needed from some of the amazing resources out there, as well as the discernment to ignore what wasn't helpful. That journey, the messy, honest, painful, beautiful parts of it, is the foundation of the work I do with parents today. One of the things I learned early on is that this isn't about memorizing pronouns, nor about getting terminology perfect. Parents need something deeper, a place to process the fear and grief, a clear understanding of what's actually happening for their child, practical, grounded tools, ways to communicate without feeling like you're walking on eggshells all the time, and a way to rebuild connection, even if things have been strained or painful. All that is what led me to create the Way Forward framework, a coaching approach built specifically for parents of trans kids, based on real emotions, real relationship dynamics, and real world challenges. Most parents try the same things at the beginning. We read everything online, right? We avoid conversations with our kids and sometimes with others in our lives to keep the peace. We wait, as if somehow by waiting, we feel like we'll suddenly feel ready, or that this will all go away. We hope clarity is going to come with time. And sometimes we believe we need to understand everything before we can accept anything. First, there's fear. Then we freeze. And then we avoid. Turning to books, podcasts, programs, and support groups can be life-saving and so important. But they're all based on someone else's kid, someone else's story. They can make you feel less alone, but they don't tell you what to do next in your family, with your child, in your situation. And this is the moment where most parents get stuck. They're trying to sort through mountains of information, trauma stories, success stories, opinions, and resources, when what they really need is the right information at the right time, tailored to their child and to their reality. One of the places I can help most is by condensing and distilling what you need to know now. Not all of it, not the whole internet, but the pieces that help you move forward today so that you can save time, confusion, and mental and emotional exhaustion. And honestly, in this case, timing matters. Trans kids who perceive their parents as fully supportive have better mental health outcomes and lower rates of self-harm and suicide. So getting support sooner doesn't just make things easier. It makes things safer. Why wait months or years to get on board when your child needs you now? And the truth is, understanding often comes after support, not before it. And this is where the Way Forward framework comes in. When I work with a client, we work through a series of steps. So step one is getting oriented. We start with where you are now, your fears, your strengths, your questions, your hopes, and the state of your relationship. Step two, we understand what's happening beneath the surface. We unpack your thoughts, your feelings, your patterns, and your reactions so that you can respond with clarity, not panic. Step three, we learn what you actually need to know. We unpack the language, the concepts, and the systems that shape your child's world. From gender identity and expression to dysphoria and medical pathways, from school supports to managing relationships without getting overwhelmed. Step four, we look at communication and connection. We practice what to say, how to say it, how to repair after conflict, how to advocate, and how to respond to others when they misgender or push back. Step five, and this one's really important, we work on regulation and on repair. You're going to learn how to stay grounded in tough moments and how to rebuild trust if things have gotten strained. And step six, reflect and celebrate. You'll develop a deeper understanding of yourself as a parent, a stronger bond with your child, and a sense of hope and steadiness moving forward. My hope for you, and the whole reason I built this program, is that you stop simply tolerating your child being trans, and instead you lead with love, with clarity, with confidence, and that someday you'll be able to look back on this time with pride. You'll know it helped you and your child become more connected than ever. It's kind of like having a calm, steady co-pilot when you're flying through turbulence. You're still the parent. You're still making the decisions, but you don't have to navigate the storm alone. So we're coming to my favorite part. I want to share with you what's happened for some of the parents who I've worked with and let you see that this isn't just a theory, that I've watched this process change parents' lives in very real, practical ways. And what changes a parent's life changes a kid's life. I can't share anyone's names or identifying details here because doing so without their child, and that's not ethical, but I can share these stories anonymously because the breakthroughs belong to them and the patterns are pretty universal. The first story, a parent of a teen who had recently come out was really struggling with her child's moods, her reluctance to get her schoolwork done, her unwillingness to communicate. We talked through ways to reconnect and how to prioritize her child's well-being for a while, and she sent me this text shortly after. That was after just one session. Another mother of a trans adult was really struggling and in near constant conflict with her child. They sent her one of my Instagram posts and suggested that she could use my help. And to her credit, her willingness to do the work, she reached out. She recently sent me this section of a talk she gave at her church reflecting on her year. A mom further along in her journey, the parent of quite a young trans child, and I had just one session, and then I got this message from her. I got more from this one session than from hours of expensive therapy. Fourth story I wanted to share with you is about a mom of an autistic trans teen. This child never left the basement. They didn't have meals together anymore, and the parents were starting to feel like there just wasn't any connection. They worried constantly about how to help their trans kid. By separating supporting my trans kid from parenting my kid, everything shifted. They started small, with requests for help upstairs with the groceries, or to spend time playing with her younger siblings while mom finished making dinner, which soon led to eating dinner with the family from time to time and to finding moments of connection. If you're still here with me watching this, I'm going to assume two things about you. Number one, that you are a good and loving parent. And number two, that even though this journey feels harder than anything you've faced before, you want to support your child so that they can live a safe, happy, and fulfilling life. If what I've shared resonates, your next step is simple. Book a free, no pressure, 30-minute call. It's just a conversation, a chance to talk about what's happening in your family and see whether this support that I offer aligns with what you need. And only then, if we both feel like we're interested in working together, only then would we book a second call to discuss how to make that happen. One last thing. You don't have to figure this out alone. If you're ready, I'm here. And together, we can take the next step forward.